You a dog man, you got to know where your dog at in the fight, because if you grab that other man dog, ain't no guarantee he ain't gonna bite you.
Right.
Right. But when you grab your own dog, you almost highly unlikely that you're gonna get bit.
Right.
Right. So once you know where the fight is, economically, you know it's banking.
Right. Money.
Education, right? You know it got to do with the school system. Entertainment, you know it got Hollywood involved. And if Hollywood involved, you know it ties right back to New York.
Yeah.
And you know if New York involved, it got political influences in it. So that ties right back to DC.
Go ahead.
Right? So it's political, right? You got education, economics, entertainment. Then you got the workforce. Now we talking workers unions, workers guild, skilled trades, masters at a craft, master craftsmen, master masons, master builders.
Right.
Right? The illusion got to reveal itself. And the illusion being is that the master builder is the man, and all the time the man is a secondary builder, because the master builder is the mother who molded him in the womb.
Right.
And let the fruit speak for itself. There was no man able to build anything before he was made in the mother's womb. Right? So now we got economics, education, entertainment, labor. Then we go into law, which is legalese, which is the language of the settler to keep control of the settled so that they don't never rise up and run over the colonizer. They got an inclusion doctrine that's an exclusive doctrine.
Go ahead.
The exclusive doctrine is to give you exclusion doctrine. What is it? It's a system of warfare. It's called playing the odds. Right? Play both sides from the middle. Right? So you got to play inclusion, exclusion at the same time. Right? Because you want to mix them together, but you don't want them to know you want them to mix them together, but you give them the doctrine and turn them loose, and then you tell them don't touch each other. He a no good N-word. She a colonizing pale face, whatever the case may be. So now you got the dynamics at play to create chaos. Right? So then you go from law to politics, which ties back to the entertainment, which ties back to the Hollywood, which was the wand. And the wand was broke over Queen Elizabeth's coffin because the spell was broke. And Baba said we breaking the spell. So only way to break the spell is expose the mechanics of the spell to the public, and the underbelly of it gonna make it not work. Because now they know the trick about pulling the rabbit out the hat. It's not even a fun trick to watch no more. Just when they thought they wasn't being deceived and they discovered they was being deceived the whole time, it ticks them off because they was going to say David Copperfield not gonna trick me this time, and they got tricked by him once again. The Great Deception.
Hey, I got another question for you, Rod, because once you say certain things, they give me certain keys or clues to go and put some other things together. I remember you talking about go study other places that the United States colonized, like Iraq, and see how they ran the game to colonize them, right? And with the checkpoints and to creating the police, taking over, turning some of their people to their side, etc. So during the Seminole Wars, this is my question right here. During the Seminole Wars, they steady pumping this storyline that these people were runaway slaves that came from the east to the west. From the west to the east to help the Seminoles. And AI said that these people were passing checkpoints on the land. And the slave part just added in just to make. Could you go in on that? On the people.
Remember, we talked about this before.
Yeah, we did. We got a whole tape on it. So, yeah.
And we talked about also in a different one. We talked about how they was knocking on the doors in the South, talking about the Indian train coming. Who want to get on? A lot of the people in the South still tell the story.
Go ahead. I heard.
Right, I just said in different people from different family bloodlines in Tennessee, in Georgia, and in Mississippi, and in Alabama. And I heard different people tell the story about the Indian train. It's not an actual train, right? And the story to conceal the Indian train was the caravan going up the Trail of Tears, right? They tell us that it was the Freedom Train, just exactly the opposite, and that it was being ran by liberators like Harriet Tubman. Give you a false narrative to conceal the actual story is the strategy. When they all telling us about their grandparents telling them about the Indian train, we know what it's about because we looking at the people telling it, right? They born in the late 1800s to the 1940s. So the grandparents that's telling them had to be in the first part of the 1800s.
Go ahead.
And they say they knock on the door talking about, do y'all want to get on the Indian train? And our family didn't never believe in the government. So we wasn't finna participate in nothing they was doing. Yeah. And then on paper, we can see following the Dawes Roll and following the registry and the census records, we can see that the people just changed description, but the people on the land was still the same people.
That's right.
From the paper genocide trail. Right. Even erasing us on paper left us a paper trail to trace us back to who we are. Right? If you listen to what the elders are saying, that's why I say I had to listen to a whole lot of old people. For some reason, I used to be wondering, why am I always sitting with these old folks? I don't want to hear what they talking about. Some of them got alcohol on their breath. Some of them got snuff in their lip.
Yeah, they snuff. Yeah. My grandma.
You know, and I don't want to sit here and watch this old lady spitting in this bucket all day. But I'm gonna be respectful and I'm gonna shut my mouth like my mama said, and I'm gonna listen to everything she say, even if I don't want to. It's a message in there. And if I listen to enough of them, I get my instructions that's in my book of life. Because I keep hearing it repeat itself, even though they all telling a different story. Like the Indian train story going up the Trail of Tears is just culturally different. Like Alabama territory and Arkansas territory is slightly different than Mississippi territory and Louisiana territory. The cultural influence of the tribes that live there is similar, but they slightly different in how they use their slang, how they draw their English. It's slightly different, right? A person that's born and raised in Arkansas and a person born and raised in Louisiana, we could put them together. They know both of them from different parts of the South.
Right.
But somebody in the North don't know what part of the South them brothers from, but they from the South. We know they from the South. We reading the culture. Right? Because when the Arkansas guy with his country draw tell the Louisiana guy with his country draw, you sound country, dog. But they both saying the same thing. And then somebody from the North saying, we speak proper Queen's English with good etiquette, and they talking, where they from?
Right.
And then you can isolate. You can get an echo range from New Orleans. In New Orleans, they got the richest Creole patois in their language, and the way that they draw and scrawl is, but as you drift out from there, it's still country, but it ain't quite the NO.
Once you, because they in a below sea level. See down there, they below sea level a certain feet. So the atmosphere is different because they below sea level so low. And then with the influence, because that same you can go with that same accent from the Jamaicans, but they shit so broken. It's so broken English, and so like it's so islander. You can't really understand unless you used to hearing them talk a while, right? And then say, "Oh, he said one guan." It's like, what's going on?
Look,
You know?
and if you from New Orleans,
Yeah.
you can listen to Master P from Calio Projects,
Yeah.
and then you can listen to my man from, and you know which projects he from.
Yeah. Yeah.
He don't even got to tell you if you from New Orleans. Oh, now that one of them Fifth Ward boys right there. Oh, he from Ninth Ward. I don't go out to the Ninth Ward. Oh, that boy over there from over there. You know what I mean? They know each other, and so when a stranger come on the land, the stories it echoes. They go the gossip chain in the South is it's not like the gossip chain in the North.
Yeah, that's right.
They give you valuable information on the gossip network in the South.
Yeah,
But in the North, they gonna slander you. They gonna talk about you for no reason. And just to be able to tell the story, they gonna carry on all of the malicious and malignant BS they can.
Damn.
Right? But in the South, we need to know who on the land because we need to know who's snatching our babies up.
Right.
Right? So when they gossip circle get done telling the story of a particular type of vehicle, and all of the sisters in the circle seen it, they going to tell them old men, and them old men gonna come with them shotguns.
Right.
Or worse.
Right.
And when the old men's with the shotgun come, them young boys gonna be like, uh-oh. They going back to get some stuff that they call today switches. They not going to get shotguns.
Right.
Right? But the culture is able to tell us when to move and when to be still.
Mm-hmm.
Just like if you read energy, you know, sometimes you're supposed to shut up, stop talking, because you done got your point across clearly. And sometimes you got to talk more than you want to because your point ain't got all the way across, right? You reading energy. It's the same way with reading the culture. Listen to your entertainers tell you where they from and what their bloodline is, and then you'll know why certain ones of them is always kept on the fringes of success, just about there. They might make a pound of money, but they're not gonna never get the spotlight to the same degree as somebody else because they was one of us. Most of us don't know Little Richard was Chief Screaming Hawk. Most of us don't know that Smokey Roberts is Hayoka High Priest. This is why he writing Tears of a Clown. Right? We don't know what this stuff is. We didn't know that Cicely Tyson was an Iroquois high priestess. Right? But they all left messages for the chiefs to be able to pick it out. Right? We don't know LL Cool J Shinnecock. We didn't know Flavor Flav is the Shinnecock. We don't know that almost all of the Wu-Tang Clan original crew is all chiefs working together to put the lingo together on the musical tip in order for the Killer Bees to bring in the swarm of chiefs. Chiefs being plural for chief. Right? It's all being played out because this is the fabric of how reality works.
KR said one. He is Shinnecock. George Clint.
Yeah.
My bad. I would say George Clint. He one of the people.
He don't even want, if he don't even want to talk about no Africa stuff. He's straight.
Hey, that's what I was gonna ask you, Rob. Go ahead.
But all of those ones, James Brown.
One of us couldn't.
James Brown was a chief.
Yeah.
Right. I could do this for hours. Sam Cooke, off the Cook clan, old Mississippian. I mean, the list goes on and on. We can sit here and name who's original on the land all day long.
Hey, that brings to my next question, Rod. So do you think, because I heard a lot of stories about how they got these killer clowns, got star readers and map sky readers, and they predict they watch when certain people are gonna be born. They know who the chiefs are. They know when they're gonna return, and they time their death. I mean, time their birth, and then they watch them, and then try to buy them out, turn them, and that's how most of these guys get in the rap game and other industries, is because they got watched and they really targeted them strategically. Because I heard a storyline where they said that in the end they're gonna say we didn't do it to them, they did it to themselves. You know what I'm saying? We didn't do it to them. They own chiefs, kept them down. They own chiefs, right? That's what they said at the end. We didn't do it. They own chiefs did it. Go ahead.
What Tupac saying? He said if this was chess, we'd have been screaming checkmate 3 years ago. In this case, it's 20, 29, 33, 36 years ago. We would have been screaming checkmate way back then. But he said there's one problem. We got to get the imposters out now. Checkmate them suckers and execute them. Put it up. No. Because we don't know that we ain't fighting pale faces yet. We still thinking that the power structure is some YT people. Right? They not this power structure. They the crash dummies that's been put out in front of us so we can crash out on the wrong people. Half the people in the history books doing the dirt look like us. But when you see them in history, just like the ones that was inventing everything, they painted like somebody else. So now the ones that was doing the good deeds, inventing stuff, creating stuff, been pale skinned out, and the ones doing the actual dirt, the black hand, then also been painted whitewashed out. So now you don't know when you looking at a picture of Karl Marx that you're looking at a picture of Frederick Douglass. And they're the same, they're two different sides of the water. And so you got to know what the comparative analysis is between the two in order to understand where the fraud is being concealed. Lenin looked just like a young Du Bois. Go look it up. You know, it's going to amaze you. There's a couple of them, couple more of them, other ones too, but those are the easiest ones where the similarities are so obvious. You can't mistake it. Right? Then we know that the communist doctrine was written by C.L.R. James. Right? He from the Caribbean. He trying to tell them how to structure the tribe. They trying to capitalize off of community living. This is what made communism not work. You can't capitalize. There's no capitalism under community living. Right? That's why they had to get rid of John Africa. He was teaching community living. Soon as you start living community living, you start deteriorating the old system. This takes us back to where we started, Eld, about acquiring jurisdictional supremacy.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a fiat system and a gold-back system at the same time. One of them got to give way to the other one. They shut our banks down with economic hitmen called outlaw bank robbers.
Yeah, Jesse James.
But that was done to serve. That was to serve two purposes.
Yeah.
To associate the bank robber with the outlaw, because the tribes who refuse to sign treaties are called outlaw tribes.
Right.
Right. But Big Mama Bank is getting shut down by bank robbers, economic hitmen. Right. And then so now when they do the publicity.
Jesse was working for the government. I got to take him out of there.
Yeah. Not just him.
He was a Freemason, a Knights of Templar working for the government.
Who you think was Bonnie and Clyde was working for? They robbed all them banks and they got no money. Come on, man. Think about that. Where they put the money at? They robbing all them banks, but they don't got no money. Who got the money?
Yeah. Yeah, it makes a lot
That's
of
the
sense
same
now, boy.
thing
You still make
for was it Billy the
Billy.
Kid? All of those bank robbers, they were systematically robbing our banks. Just they did it in where Black Wall Street was. They was robbing
And the
banks
trains. And the bank trains.
anywhere. Yeah, and the train was a transport. You
Yeah.
know, settling of the debt.
Yeah.
Right, we was already doing that. Our our method was interrupted. This is where you get your Pony Express from. Right, we had courier systems across the land. I told you, Big Mama tell you exactly where your plot of land was, but she ain't never left the house. We've been sitting, I've been living there my whole life. I ain't never seen Big Mama leave. I'm 56 years old. But when she give you the directions to your plot of land, it's gonna look, you're gonna see exactly what she tell you looking for. Right? So we got communication networks that predate all of the stuff we see around us today. It's just that most of us are so disconnected from the culture and so saturated with the out of Africa concept that we never look back to the real culture we from. We look to the foreign culture, right? But when you do a comparative analysis, you find that some of the tribes over there got a similar culture, but it's seasoned a little bit different. Almost like looking at people from New Orleans talk to people from Arkansas. They both from down south, but they season just a little bit different. One of them got that old Creole boil, right? The other one got that Big Papa's old school mix, whatever they call it. The juke, they put the juke on the joint.
Yeah,
But
they eat
they,
monkeys over there. We eat coons over here.
yeah, all that. Like people in the north be like, ew, he eat coon.
Yeah, we roast that coon while
Man,
like I said.
coon, possum, right?
I don't really
But
like that possum.
well, I don't like the way now one of them look. Look, I
Greasy.
open my
Greasy.
I
That
open
possum
look.
greasy.
Look, my auntie used to be married to a dude named Junebug. Junebug is a scarab beetle
Yeah,
in Egypt,
yeah.
right? It's the same concept. The Junebug job is to look for the chief.
Go ahead.
And because remember the mythology that surrounds Kefra,
Look for the
right?
sun.
Kefra is the dung beetle, but it's also the sun before it rises.
Yeah.
And they tell us that the Kefra beetle rolls